the conspiracy theories swirling around New England and the NFL. Because, well, here you have, the biggest sport in the country, one of the most popular, biggest money-making teams in that sport. A guy, the conspiracy here is Antonio Brown was kind of backdoor talking to New England maybe this whole time because they wanted him before last season. Then he, wreaks havoc in the Oakland Raiders. They cut him within less than a day, maybe a couple hours. Suddenly he's announcing he's signed by New England. It sounds like a work.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Steve?
I mean, the timing seems rather suspicious, and it seems like it could have been an orchestrated event because last season it's well known that the Steelers were the Patriots wanted to be in trade talks with the Steelers for Brown, but that ended up falling through, and Brown went to the Raiders, and all the erratic behavior leading up to his release last weekend, and then a matter of hours, less than 3 or 4 hours later, he's a member of the New England Patriots, seems rather suspicious. However, he is only making potentially about half what he would have made in Oakland. He was guaranteed $30 million there. He could make up to $15 million this season with the Patriots, so that's a little... I wonder about that as well. Why would he take half
Holland,
the money?
you're from that neck of the woods.
15 million, 30 million. How many yachts can you water ski behind? But I do live in Rhode Island, and the Patriots parked their handsome Boeing 767 right on the runway, right as you come into the airport. And I always see people in the terminal taking selfies with the plane right out the window. And somebody asked, could you take our picture? And I said, yeah, sure. I took the iPhone. I was taking their picture. I said, where are you from? They said, Tampa.
Yeah.
So
it's there. Jesse, you want to chime in?
Well, the whole thing is this. Let's look at the situation you have here. Pittsburgh did not want him going to New England. That was for sure. So him going to Oakland and all this stuff. Let's remember something. The Patriots have already been caught cheating twice. 2 times. Filming opponents and the famed ball deflation thing. So it's kind of like drunk driving. If you've been caught twice, it means you're doing it far more often than that. These are just the times you've been caught. So New England is not above, I don't think, any type of collusion in getting a player they want who can ensure them another Super Bowl. And let's remember, okay, he took less money, but guess what? If he goes to New England, he gets a ring. And at this point, a ring is more important than money.
And this is the thing that it brings up, and this is why I think this important story that I bring it up on a political show, is that to me, it encapsulates one of the big problems that every politician talks about that doesn't change, is that if you are rich and powerful, you can cheat the system all you want. The NFL has rules against this kind of thing, but you can cheat the system all you want, and there's no consequences if you're big enough, and if you're a big enough team, if you're a big enough person.
Open the dictionary to rich and powerful. You'll see a picture of Robert Kraft,
and
the Patriots owner.
Yeah.
And to go along with this, we just saw yesterday it came out that Justify, last year's Triple Crown winner in horse racing, tested positive for a banned substance before the Kentucky Derby, the first leg of the Crown. He should have never even qualified for that race to get the Triple Crown, but Hall of Famer trainer Bob Baffert and along with the California Racing Association swept that under the rug, and it just came out now that he was still allowed to race when he shouldn't have been.
Jesse?
Well, let's remember, too, that Bob Kraft probably takes a picture pretty well in a towel at a massage parlor, too.
Yeah, never got fined by the NFL for those things, even though it's not, I think that case is still hasn't been officially charged and nailed with that
If
yet.
I were Oakland, I have a real inferiority complex. You saw the movie Moneyball. Now their football team can't get arrested. I feel bad enough for the people in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and let's look at Robert Kraft, the owner. Again, much like, how you'd fight with the Koch brothers in Washington. It's the same principle. He's the owner of the Patriots. He's also one of the key owners in TV negotiations with the NFL. He's also, I believe, he's with bargaining groups. He decides the commissioner's salary. He all sits on those boards. Right. How are you going to police that guy at the end of the day?
Exactly. Tyrel, let's remember something, though. The NFL is a private sector business, so they can govern themselves, and what they do. If they are corrupt within the system, I'm not too sure what the government can really do about it.
Great point. That's a really great point. But should the government get involved quickly with the NFL when you see shenanigans over and over again and people getting bilked out of money?
I mean, somebody needs to step in. Obviously, if the owners control everything and they control the commissioner who makes the rules, if you're in the pocket of the commissioner, if the commissioner's in the pocket of, let's say, the lead owner who controls everything, basically, in Robert Kraft, he can get away with basically whatever he wants, and that's an unfair advantage. It leaves an unfair, unlevel playing field.
I sadly have to leave it there. I want to thank all three of you for coming on today.
Oh, darn it.
Oh, wow, all right, say it really quickly.
Here's the key. The key to this whole thing is the stadiums. If they're publicly owned, we should have a say-so in it because we're footing the bill where they work at.
That's it right there. Thank you. That's a great button on the end of that. Thank you so much, former Governor Jesse Ventura, sports commentator Steve Christakos, and the host of The Big Picture, Holland Cooke. Thank you so much. All right, as we go to break, Hawk Watchers, don't forget to let us know what you think of the topics we've covered on our social media. And be sure to check out Watching the Hawks, the podcast, which is now available on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Coming up, my co-host Tabitha Wallace opens up the gallery on some new forms of surveillance hidden in environmental protections and health apps. Don't want to miss this. Stay tuned to Watching the Hawks.